That's your intro?
You ought to know.
Yeah! That was so fun yesterday.
Yeah.
I love that song.
Open mic yesterday was freaking fire. Yeah. It was great. It was amazing. The energy was fucking dope. It was packed in there. And there was all different kinds of people. There was fucking farmers. There's hipsters. There's older folk. There's younger folk. It was just...
It was packed house. Good time.
Good time.
Great music. Like, holy crap. Alex, like, singing with the Kid Midnight.
Or...
Kid Midnight. And the Midnight Kids. Yes. Yeah, she sang with them, and it was fucking amazing. Like, I was like, her voice gives me goosebumps.
Yeah.
It really does.
And that, like, style really, like, suits her well, too.
Yeah.
Like, the cranberries and...
Mm-hmm. And what's that song? I don't know.
Glass?
Yeah. Fuck, did she ever
Blonde?
nail that song? I could never sing a song like that. It's so, like, high and, like, difficult. Like, last night was just such a good night.
Well, what did they open with before they brought her up? He sang a really high pitch
He
one.
sang Barracuda.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. I have a video. I sent it to I sent it to the musicians, but I have a video of Brandon hitting that, like, note.
Oh, nice.
That, like, that really, really high note that she does in that song. Like, I have a video of him singing that.
Yeah.
And gosh, like, he really did nail it. Like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's good. So open mic every Wednesday at the 4th Meridian. Mic is on at 7. So if you have any talents, even if you want to, like, just strum your guitar. Yeah. And there's, like, lots of people, too, that, like, probably, would love to sing and have a backup guitarist.
Yeah,
or like
exactly.
whatever, like, you don't have to necessarily sing to get up there and play.
Yeah, and if you want some more information, like if you want to talk to someone like, hey, I want to sing this song, like, just message any one of us that you see at open mic. Hey guys, stop.
Num num num.
Cat and dogs trying to fuck with us. Yeah, if you were, like, unsure, or like, hey, do you guys know this song? Like, the band there will play often the instrumental for you. Like, it's like live karaoke, and it's fantastic. Like, it's such a wonderful, like, warm atmosphere, and everybody is so supportive and like
welcoming.
Yeah, even if you're just, like, a poet, like, you want to come and read a poem, or even if you want to come and just read a diary entry, like, anything that you need to creatively express yourself on the mic. Up and coming stand-up comedian. I know a few of those in Lloydminster. So come on down to 4th Meridian on a Wednesday, and it's a good time.
Have a good time. And with that, too, Alanis Morissette is coming to Canada.
Alanis Morissette.
Morissette?
I never heard it like that before.
Morissette?
Alanis
Morissette?
Morissette, yeah.
I'll just...
Yeah. She's coming to, what, Rexall?
Morissette,
yeah.
whatever. Sorry, Alanis. I love you. You're my fave, but I mean, I
that's
butcher your name every time.
That's always how I've said
Morissette.
it.
Yeah, it is Morissette. I don't know why I thought it was, like, French.
Because she's Canadian?
Canadian,
yeah. Are you going to go?
Oh, fuck yeah, I'm fucking going. Oh, man, I love her. She's just so, I don't know. Her music, her lyrics are just so powerful, and
powerful and, like,
raw,
exposing, and, like, man,
yeah.
like, some of the songs, like, if you ever listened to the song Hands Clean by her, just look up the lyrics, man. Or Forgiven is one that I'm actually working on singing at open mic. But Forgiven from the Jagged Little Pill album is a very fucking, like, if you were raised Catholic, you can totally relate to it. Like, it's very about the Catholic upbringing, essentially. And it's a really beautiful song.
Yeah, and I just want to talk about, like, kind of like cancel culture a little bit, too. Something that I was thinking about the other day was, I was thinking about the Dixie Chicks. and that song Not Ready to Make Nice.
Yeah.
Like, when you really, like, think about it, now that we know what we know about the world.
Oh, yeah.
Like, now I'm like, holy shit. You know, like, as soon as somebody speaks up against the narrative, it's just like, you're done.
And the Dixie Chicks were, like, a beloved band.
And have you noticed, like, yeah, the super popular band, and their career was, and now they're called the Chicks.
Because what did they do? They dissed George Bush?
Something about the war, wasn't it? They didn't agree with it. Yeah. And, like, now, knowing what I know about that war, it's like...
yeah, what? I don't even know what they said. Like, because... yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just going to pull it up here real quick, but it's just, like, it just blows my mind, though. Like, as soon as somebody has a different opinion, it's just, you know, you're canceled, and your career is ruined, and, you know, it just, like, during, like, everything that happened during this pandemic and everything, you know, the big argument was, well, if it was so fake, people would be stepping up and speaking out about it. But reality is that if you go against the narrative, you're canceled. And like,
they know that.
And they know that.
Yeah.
So, like, they know that. You know, people that are in the medical field know that, like, if they speak up, that chances are their livelihood is going to be pulled from underneath them. And, like, Dixie Chicks, they never recovered fully from that. Like, they've played some shows. Like, they were at Craven and stuff.
Did they, though? Because, like, I don't know. Like, yeah.
Not nearly to, like, what they were.
But when they were what they were, were they even in charge of themselves? Because here's the thing a lot of people don't realize about people who get canceled. And I learned this recently from a radio host that got canceled. But basically, like, so you're under contract and you're working under this huge company that might own you. And, like, probably 60 to 70% of your earnings, like, what you're pulling in goes to the company that is representing you. And so when people get canceled, they get dropped by these big labels, they actually end up making more money and being more successful, like in their own selves. Yeah, they're not multinational and not everybody knows who they are because they're not being promoted the same way. But they're still successful. And, like, so, like, exactly. So I look at it and think, oh, Dixie Chicks aren't successful because I'm not seeing them on TV anymore. But realistically, they are successful. They might even be more successful. I don't know if they are or not. But that kid Carson that got canceled off that radio show recently, he was talking about the fact that, yeah, people can make more money once those big corporations cut ties with them. If they're continues to support
but
them.
like and like the thing with, like, when a president cancels somebody, obviously, like, the United States of America is a very patriotic country, so I feel like if, like, you would have lost. And George,
but it's insane now, because if you say I fucking hate George Bush now, you'd be celebrated. If you say if you say you hate Joe Biden now, celebrate it. Like one side will celebrate you, the other side won't. Like, it's very polarized now, but back then, I guess, it was.
I don't think it was as polarized as it is now, because we don't have the social media and we don't have the polarization and, like, being fed to us all the time.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Like, we were definitely asleep when that happened. You know.
That's not for you. Thank you. So. In March 2003, the American country band the Dixie Chicks, now known as the Chicks, publicly criticized President George Bush and the imminent Allied invasion of Iraq, triggering a backlash. And it was because they were in a concert in London, and Natalie Maines, the main singer, said that they were ashamed to be from the same state as Bush, and they did not support the war.
Right.
And it's funny because now that we know what we know about that war is that it was completely made up.
It was, George Bush got caught in that lie. Like, that's a publicized lie now.
Yeah. So, I mean, fucking, like, it just, like, watch the people that go against the narrative, or watch the people that are, because it's like,
yeah, the only person
they don't do it for they probably knew that there was going to be repercussions for saying something like that.
Did they though? Like, you know,
well,
like they probably didn't realize it would be that bad. Like they probably thought they could say it at this London concert and it not get back to America.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it just made me like it. And now listening to that song now, it just makes me like,
yeah, I'm not apologizing because I still don't support the war because I was right. Essentially, is what you could say. Like, but like the only person that's ever been able to survive the canceling is Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan has fucking survived every attack on him. Like even right now, like people are still fucking trying to get him, and he's too honest and open of a person to like.
Right? He has no hidden agenda from what it seems like. Like, he's pretty raw. And he does handle himself quite well. Like, he speaks well. And he just... what the hell is the word that I'm looking for? Like, if someone says something about him, he has no problem just setting it straight. You know, like he doesn't cower. He doesn't have like from what I can tell, like a PR group being like, okay, we just need to like back up a little bit. Like, he's like also had like very like credible people on his podcast too.
Right. And I think that's why he survives, is because he does like let both sides speak often. Like, he gives both sides a platform. He let CNN come on his podcast and fucking lie to him. Like, you know. And I feel like that's what I hope we can achieve someday, is just, like, real-ass conversations of, like, people being fucking real. Like, the way we are, you know.
Yeah, and, like, would Spotify drop them? Because, like, that's the thing. Like, it's different. I feel like a podcast is a little bit different because... there's too many people that are curious about what he's going to say. You know, music is music. You know, it's not like you're getting... like, you can get information from it. But, like, he has his podcast. He gets stories from both sides. And even if you don't agree with him, you're still like, what the fuck is this guy saying? Yeah, and Spotify can obviously recognize that. They have, like... they gave him a bunch of money. Yeah. And regardless if it's bad publicity, Spotify is still getting paid every download on that podcast.
Yeah, and they...
an artist, say a singer or an actress gets canceled for something, it's not like you're going to go binge watch their movies or binge listen to their music, right? Typically. But, like, if there's controversy on a podcast because somebody said something... people flock to it. Even look at ours, like our
That's
podcast.
True.
Like all the ones, you know, that had like the most controversy are the ones that people flock to, whether or not they agree with it or not. Yeah. So everybody's still making money in that.
Yeah, because they have FOMO. They got to hear it. Like, oh my fucking god, did he really fucking say that? Like,
yeah, and like with misinformation now too, people like have to listen to it for themselves. Like, that's how my brain works, and I hope that's how most people's brains are working now, is that unless you see it, touch it, feel it, fucking have super duper credible sources,
yeah, it ain't real.
Like, and like that's the thing, like now when I like see things, people will post things, I'm like, a source or get the fuck out of here. Like,
I know, like, where did this really come from? Did you reverse image search it? Did you fucking, you know, like...
yeah, like, it's crazy, and it's crazy like what we can do like on the internet now, and I mean, but even now, like some of the sources, I'm like, well, is that source credible? Right. And that even like just goes back to like perspective and realities, you know, like unless you're physically there. And that's kind of like the Duff Kelly said, like, you know, how they had, like, all those media people lurking in the shadows. And then all of a sudden they'd come out, get the shot that made it look bad, and then yeet the fuck out of there. Yeah. And that's kind of like what I was saying. Like, it's the perspective of the person seeing it. And at any given time, you don't know who's there, and it's just crazy. My mind has really been blown, and I need to wrap my head around the things that I've been thinking about, and like, the mind fuck of a bend that I went through, like really realizing realities and perspectives and stuff. And I can't wait to talk about it once I have a full grasp on it. Because like I feel like sometimes my brain just goes in like this little hamster wheel, and it's just like, oh my god, there's so much information coming in, but I have to like sift through it first. And I've been thinking about a lot lately.
Yeah, like reality.
Reality.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like if I didn't know personally people who went to the Freedom Convoy, I don't know if I would have like even really taken any of it seriously because of the way that it was kind of being portrayed. But yeah, real ass people I know went there. And so like, I don't know. Also, I want to fucking say this because I feel like it's really not circulating at all, but you remember when they found that huge pile of guns on the Coutts border? Mm-hmm. That was a fucking gun bust from Calgary like 2 years ago. Same exact fucking picture. Oh. They did not find guns at the Coutts border. They didn't. Like, maybe they did, but they fucking used a fake photo from a different gun bust for the fucking thing. So, like, how are these media outlets not being like, well, or why aren't you reverse Google image searching that bullshit? So that's what I mean. Like, if I, like, because I know Carl who went to the Freedom Convoy and I know Duff who went to the Freedom Convoy, I know the Freedom Convoy happened. I saw footage from my actual people that I know in my life. But now I'm like, did any of the Coutts border shit happen? Was any of it real?
Well, and like the thing of it is too, like how much power and control that the government got over people's bank accounts and stuff like that, and seizing accounts. And like I see that meme circulating, like that 600 million, or is it 600 million or 600 billion that they can't account for?
I don't know.
It's a large sum of money, and it's like, okay, so you can trace back $20 to some freaking Joe Blow's bank account, but you can't find a large sum of money like that. Yeah. Like, it just shows you, like,
if they want to
find,
they'll know.
And that's the thing. Like, I don't understand, like, nowadays, like, how crimes go unsolved. Like, right? And it's one of those things, like, yeah, okay, like, privacy, blah, 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 blah. But if you're being fucking accused of something, you should be able to seize everything. And if you're innocent, you should have nothing to hide anyways. So is it if you're an innocent person, would you be worried about your privacy being invaded? Yeah. No. And see, here it is. Go through it.
I've always believed, like, I've had this argument with people over the years where people would say, "Oh, the government overreach. Like, they're looking at what you're doing." I was always very much like, I'm not doing anything wrong, so why the fuck do I care? But now I'm like, no. Like, now they're fucking looking at what I'm doing because they want to freeze my shit because of my political opinions?
And sorry, what I meant was, like, if you're innocent. So, like, what I meant if you're in, like, being accused, like, if you're in, like, a trial or something, like, then fucking go through you're a suspect. If you're a suspect, it should just automatic, like, I don't know, unless you have, like, a freaking solid-ass alibi, like, but even then, though, like, give it up.
But then, and then you see, like, where people have been framed for stuff like that based on, like, little things in their lives, and, like, that worries me. But at the same time, like, I feel like the truth will always come out, right? Like,
yeah, I just feel like it's gonna be getting harder and harder to, like, frame people with, like, cell phone stuff because cell phones, like,
it's so traceable.
And it's like a little satellite thing, shows you everywhere you went, probably even fucking. They could probably tell you how many times you shit your pants or farted, you know? Like, at this point, we know your phone's listening to you.
And we know, like, it's fucked. Like, this part's fucked, too. Like, we know all these single moms and dads that fucking donated to the Freedom Convoy, and we're outing all these small businesses for donating to the Freedom Convoy. But we still don't know the customers of Ghislaine Maxwell. Yeah. And I know that's a meme that's been circulating heavy, but that is a fucking good point.
And it blows my mind, because, like, okay, she got charged for, like, how is that, like, I don't understand the law, and I would love to, like, if somebody could explain to me that, like, she was providing it. There was people committing crimes against these young women and children and young men and young boys. So, but if they exposed it, like, literally the world would crumble.
That's because we know who fucking did it, and exactly, the world would crumble. We know who fucking did it.
There would be no
The
fucking
people-
government.
yeah.
There'd be no
World
hierarchy.
would be that's when anarchy comes. When people find out the fucking truth about the fucking pedophile shit that's really going on in the world, like when real normal ass people, like I used to be, start finding out the real truth, it's anarchy. No, like people like, and people have been predicting this for a long time. Like once some people, when they get like undeniably red pilled about something so deep like that, like for example, my cousin's husband, who's like, Pizzagate isn't real and nobody's molesting children and that's all lies. People who are like so hardcore like that, when they find out the truth, it's not going to be good for them.
Okay, yeah.
They're not going to.
Okay, we're gonna open about Pizzagate. Okay.
What? What do you mean?
War. This podcast. Over,
okay. This is the end of this episode, but tune in to episode number 67. Open with
Pizzagate.
I should go get my poster. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.